Hey everyone. So here I am today filming from this beautiful bed that I got a couple weeks ago from a friend. And it was a gift, and it was a gift of more than just a bed. So I want to talk about the realizations that I've had since I received this bed that was gifted to me. The first realization that I had was that the other night, it was about 2 nights ago, I dreamed for the first time in 15 years. And I knew I wasn't getting proper sleep because I was fatigued. I had adrenal and thyroid issues and anemia, but I just didn't know what to do about it. And then I had this realization that it was because I thought that I was taking really good care of myself, but after I received this bed, I realized that I wasn't. That most of my life I've been putting other people's needs and wants ahead of my own. And I want to talk about that today, how empaths, we can do that without even knowing it. I mean, I've come a long way. I really thought that I had learned to put my own needs first. But then when I dreamed the other night and I felt so restored, it was like the first day in years that I haven't felt like I needed to take a nap in the afternoon. And so I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about first, I'm a Capricorn. So we're like the adults of the zodiac. We're like, when we're born, we're just born adults. Like, we're in little baby bodies, but we're just adults and we can just take care of things. But that's the thing I wanted to talk about, is just because we can take care of things and we see like we can solve problems pretty easily. Just because we can see the solution and we can solve a problem doesn't mean that, one, we have the responsibility to do that, to solve that problem, or two, that we should. We don't, just because we have the ability, we do not have the obligation. The other thing I wanted to talk about was being an empath. I know the sleep thing, the lack of sleep thing, started when I was pregnant with my son. And then it kind of just continued through the time that they were infants. And then now they're 11 and 14. So that's why I'm saying I haven't had sleep since like 15 years ago, since I was pregnant with my son. And my mom used to yell at me when the kids were little because of my telepathic abilities. I could get things for my kids before they'd even have to communicate to me that they needed something, and I'd already have it right there for them. And that has translated over into my massage career. A lot of people come to me because they say, hey, how did you know that? I've been to body workers, acupuncturists, massage therapists, doctors. Nobody could figure out what was wrong with me. But then I come to see you the first time and you put your hands right on the problem and you do something that relieves it, because like I can just touch somebody's body, figure out where the trigger point is and take care of it right at that time. And sometimes people don't need to come back to me. Sometimes they do. It really just depends. But this is what I've learned through that, through the bed scenario. And then it also transferred over into my work life. Is that just because you can anticipate the needs of people and you can get to the root of the problem doesn't mean that you're obligated to, and it doesn't mean that you should. Really, I've got to look at like my time, how much I'm putting out. For instance, I had a couple clients, and I'll give you an example here. I had a couple clients, and the one woman, when she came in, she wanted super, super, super deep tissue massage. And I don't prefer to do deep tissue. And a lot of times I actually don't think it does any good. I think people just come in week after week after week and they need the same thing, and it just doesn't help them remedy the problems. Because first of all, they need to figure out, why are they needing this really, really deep tissue? Like, what's going on with their muscles? Unless you're an Olympic athlete, Like, what is going on with your muscles that you're that tight? Like, do you need to make adjustments in your life? Like stress, do your stress levels need to be reduced? Are there repetitive tasks in your day that are causing this muscle tightness? Anyway, there's other things that need to be looked at. So there's a lot of reasons I don't like to do deep tissue, but for one reason is it hurts my body. I can't do a lot of deep tissue. And as a massage therapist, I was having shoulder injuries, a lot of problems with my shoulder. The more I just kept saying yes, yes. And that's the thing, like these clients would come in, they would want this super deep tissue massage. And they would compliment me and say, "Oh, you have the ability to give me the exact massage that I want. I love it." And then they would always also in this massage, they would say, "Oh, can you go a little deeper? Can you go a little deeper?" And I would always, like, since they would compliment me, I would always, of course, try to deliver what they wanted and go a little deeper, even though my shoulder was hurting the whole time. And then afterwards, I had to ice it. And so what I realized was I finally told them, I can't do this anymore. I can't give you what you want because it's hurting me and it's hurting my body. And so I had to honor myself, honor my abilities, and say no. And that was really, really hard. That was extremely hard because one, I don't want to lose clients. And two, I think it's just been really hard in my life to say no and to say yes to myself. So that's what I wanted to talk about, is mainly the more you say yes to yourself, the happier you are, the healthier you are. I'm enjoying this bed right now. Normally, I would have pushed things out of my life. Like if somebody would have gifted me with something, I would have said, "Oh, that's okay. No, I don't need that." But it's important to be open to receiving because I had no idea what this gesture was going to do for me. So one, as empaths, we have to be open to receiving. Two, we shouldn't feel obligated to do anything for anyone just because we can anticipate their needs or because we can solve the problem. Doesn't mean we should feel obligated, and it doesn't mean that we need to follow through or that we should do anything about it. Our self-care is number one priority, and we need to come first. And I learned that lesson the hard way, not getting sleep for like 15 years, not getting adequate sleep. So I'm hoping that this solves a lot of my health issues that I've been going through, the fact that I'm going to get some sleep now and focus my attention on myself. And with all that being said, I realized that there are times in our lives, like when I was starting my business and I was just hustling all the time, working 2 or 3 jobs. I know that sometimes in our lives, we can't always focus on ourselves, especially if you're a single parent provider like I am. I'm a single mom to 2 kids. Sometimes we're just forced into fight or flight, and we just have to do what we have to do. And that's been the last 7 years of my life. I slept in one apartment that we have. I have a boy and a girl, so I let them, I could only afford a 2-bedroom apartment, so I let them have the bedrooms, and then I slept in the living room. It just worked better for our situation. So I'm not like bashing anybody. Sometimes you just have to get through things. If you don't have a lot of income, if, it just really depends on your situation. If you're struggling through situations because of income or health reasons, you just have to push through. So, it's not always possible to put ourselves first. But when we get to that place where we have some breathing room, that's when it's important to take a big, deep breath. And I'm finally at a place with my business right now that I don't have to hustle so much, thank goodness. But it's important to take that big, deep breath, then switch over to prioritizing ourselves and reflect on everything that's happened. And then we can proceed in a different manner going forward. It's really important also that we forgive ourselves for not making ourselves a priority. have that compassion and that self-love, and then move forward from here. And now that we know better, we can do better. So that's the message I had for today. Thank you all for listening. Take care. Bye.